Demonstrator from the Scenic Rim in Queensland, and I'm here today to create with you again, to craft with you and hang out with you again. I absolutely love coming and hanging out with crafty people. So if this is the first time that you've watched me, my name is DonnaG and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Scenic Rim in Queensland. I sell all things to do with paper craft, so be it scrapbooking, card making, whatever your heart desires, we sell it all. Cardstock, papers, ribbons, embellishments, stamps, inks, tools, absolutely everything that you need for your crafting habit. So one thing that I absolutely love doing is coming and crafting with you and showing you some of the awesome products that we have available through our online store. So today is a little bit different to my regular crafting. This is my free weekly live class. So it's an online class to go. So you can earn the kit for free if you order between today, which is the 30th of January, through until the 3rd of February. Any orders placed over $100 or more using my host code. And if you actually look up there, you can see the QR code, and that QR code actually has my monthly host code connected to it. If not, you can see in the show more box down below on YouTube, and also in the description of this video if you're watching on Facebook, you can see my shop link with the host code connected to it. If you click on that link and go straight to my online store, purchase $100 or more, you will not only receive a celebration item because you'll be spending more than $90, you will also receive a kit to make 2 of each of these 3 card designs that I create today. So once again, I'm going to be using the Heartfelt Hexagon. So I came live yesterday and I created one gorgeous card using the Heartfelt Hexagon. Today I'm going to create 3 beautiful cards using this Heartfelt Hexagon bundle. I'm also going to use a combination of some of the celebration items as well, and I'm also going to use some designer series paper that is one of our online exclusive papers as well. So welcome. I can see quite a few of you chiming in there, so welcome everybody. So I go live every Tuesday afternoon at 5 p.m. With my weekly class to go. So this weekly class to go, all you need to do if you live in Australia is place an order for $100 or more and you will get the kit for free. I send it out to you absolutely free. If you spend $150 or more, I actually send you out a free embellishment as well. So all of the kits from last week's live have been sent out. The kits from the week before have been sent out. Daryl, I did have with your kit, I did have a notification. I haven't seen whether it got delivered today, but I do have the tracking for it. It says delivery expected Thursday the 1st. Oh, yes. Oh, no, it says delivered. So you would have got your kit today. So it has been delivered. And yes, we have the crafty cat here with us today. So he's very happy. He's been fed. So he's quite happy and he's now settled in. He did come for a visit out in my craft studio today. So we were crazily getting the Stamps Club kits all prepped and ready to go. So it's a pretty big job doing the Stamps Club kits. So my friend Lucy and I were prepping those today. And Theo was out in the craft studio as well. You received it today, Daryl. Well done. Well, then, Daryl, you just go back to the video that I did 2 weeks ago and rewatch the video and you'll be able to create your gorgeous cards. So hello and welcome, everyone. Okay, so let's get the video started. Linda's asking, sorry, she's probably someone saying hello to Linda. Oh, Sue. Yes. So Linda's asking Sue, is she going to On Stage in Melbourne? I'm going. I will be there. Hello, Lorraine. Hello. You're such a regular watching me. Hello. Welcome. I can see someone's watching from Ganella. Maybe it's Sue Rose from Ganella. I'm not sure. You're in a private group of mine, so I can't see who it is. Hello from Olympia. In the USA. Hello, welcome. Ida, is this the first time you've watched me? I don't know whether I've seen your name before. So I can see a few of you are obviously in my private groups. So welcome everybody. If I don't say hello, please don't think I'm ignoring you. There's lots and lots of chat that goes on, and I'm live in quite a few different places. So I'm live. Oh, Sue, please make sure you come and find me. Don't be nervous. Honestly, it is such a fun event. And honestly, don't be nervous. We will all have... Oh, you've watched many replays. Okay. Okay, Ida, sorry. So welcome everybody. So as I said, Sue, please find me, come and say hello, introduce yourself to me, because I would love to meet you in person. Oh, it's Del. Sorry. Okay, now I can see you're on YouTube. I was thinking, who is it watching me from Bar? But anyway, and Bar is where I used to live, everyone. So that's why it sort of popped up, and I'm like, oh, someone from my hometown. It's okay, girls. Don't be nervous. Like, honestly, on stage is such a fun, great get together. So Stampin' Up have an event where we can actually, hey Sue, how are you going? Stampin' Up actually have an event that we can actually all gather, and you have to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator to be able to attend the event. But it's an opportunity for me to be able to meet my team members all like in person. I mean, I get to know my team members online, but it's really, really nice to be able to meet people in. And exactly, Sue, be nervous together. It's all good. All right. So let's get to crafting, because I think you've probably had enough of my gas bagging by now. So let's pop the camera down and we will get sorted. So as you can see, I am using, I'm using a couple of different things. So the first one that I'm going to use, so we're using the Heartfelt Hexagon. This is the bundle that we're using. So the Heartfelt Hexagon stamp set, and we're also using the gorgeous punch that goes with it. Now, I've got a couple of things lined up here. So I'm going to start with this one first. We'll put those two aside. I'm going to start with this one first. Okay, so for this one, I'm actually using a different a color combination. I've got our Parakeet Party. I've got our Berry Burst. And I've got the... now, it's not called Translucent Florals, but anyway, it's the Designer Series paper, Delightful Florals. I think it's called Delightful Florals, but anyway. All right, so I'm going to fold my card base in half. Now, once again, my card base is cut at the regular size that I always use, 5 3/4 inches by 8 inches, folded in half. Gives me a card front size of 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. I have a piece of the Berry Burst. I've got myself a little sticky note here. So I have a piece of the Berry Burst. I'll pop that over there just in case someone wants to write that down. So my Berry Burst layer is at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. So it's cut 1/4 inch smaller than the front. Yeah, Susan, sometimes that happens, but you know what? You just got to binge watch us. Binge watch us and watch a few videos to get yourself back into the swing of it again. Okay, so this one here, we've got 4 pieces of Designer Series paper. So this is the Delightful Florals. I think that's what it's called, Delightful Florals, Designer Series paper. Now, we've got beautiful reverse sides as well as the front side. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to use a combination of these like this on the card. So simple, easy card, but a great way to use up some of your Designer Series paper. So we've got 4 pieces of Designer Series paper cut at 1 3/4 by 2 5/8. So it's 1 3/4 that way and 2 5/8 that way. So I'm just going to layer those up on that Berry Burst layer. The name of the green cardstock, Daryl, is Parakeet Party. Parakeet Party. Okay, so we've got one there. Now I'm going to alternate with the greens and the florals so that we have that alternating pattern. Now I've cut these so that they fit just nicely with a nice little border in between. Okay, so you can see we've got that gorgeous border happening in between. So it's just enough to break them up a little bit so that you can see that you've got these gorgeous Designer Series paper. We better put the flowers going up the right way. Okay. Like so, and then this one up here. So really simple, but a great way to use your off-cut pieces of Designer Series paper. Okay, so we've got that there. So we've got those 4 all lined up. Now I'm going to take a piece of basic white and I'm going to stamp with now there's 2 different stamps. So there's this one here and then there's the other one. So I want to show you the 2 different ones. use this one here as well. All right. So this is out of the Heartfelt Hexagon. And once again, if you're going to lay them onto your block, just let it fall onto your block so that it doesn't, okay, so it falls onto your block so it goes into the shape that it needs to be. So we've got either just spots or we've got the dotty colour. So I actually don't know why I haven't got Parakeet Party in here, but I'm going to use my Lemon Lime Twist. It's very similar to Parakeet Party, so I'm going to use Lemon Lime Twist there with that one. So you can see, so it's just little dots, and I'm going to use the same up here. So I'm just going to choose which one I think I'm going to use. Okay, so we've got that one. I actually like this one better because it's got a bit more oomph to it. It's got lines around it as well as the dots. So if you wanted to, you could probably line that up and actually change the color of the dots in between if you wanted to be that particular, but I'm not going to be that particular. Now, the next thing that I wanted to do is I think I want to have my sentiment going that way. So we might use the sentiment that we used yesterday, which says, I hope your day is filled with joy. So I'm going to grab my Berry Burst because I want to still stick into the tones. I could even use Pretty Peacock if I wanted to as well. But I'm just going to use the Berry Burst and I'm going to stamp that right in the middle of that hexagon right there. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to use our punch and we're going to punch that out. So I'm going to show you something that we can do also. I'm going to punch that out. So now with your punches, the idea is to line them up like that, squeeze them until it takes hold so then it doesn't move your cardstock, and then with both hands, punch it out like that. So we have that. Okay, I'm going to grab just a scrap piece of, I might see if I've got Pretty Peacock. Scrap of Pretty Peacock here. We do. Here we go. Okay, so with a scrap of Pretty Peacock, I'm going to punch another one. Okay. Now, this is a great way of being able to add a border in behind. Now, of course, if we do that, we're not going to see anything because it's the same size. But what we can actually do is we can cut that in half. Now, you can either put it in your paper trimmer or you can use your scissors. And oh my Lord, where are my scissors? They're not in my drawer. Hang on, I've got a pair just out here. When all else fails, go out to the kitchen bench where there's more things. All right, so I'm just going to cut that in half this way. Now, the reason why I'm going to cut it in half that way is we are going to be able to shadow this. So I want to shadow it so that we get a little bit of oomph in behind there. So I'm going to use, I don't know, my word this afternoon is oomph. Actually, no, I'm going to use liquid glue. You like the tiny little stamps in this set? I know, it's really cute. I think it's a stamp. I actually think it's a bundle that people probably have overlooked, mainly because it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look like it really grabs your attention when you're first looking in the catalogue, but I can tell you it's a very underestimated bundle because it's gorgeous. I've been having a lovely time with it this week. All right, so I've popped one on one side. I'm going to add a bit more glue on here and add this one on here. Okay. So we've now changed that hexagon layer. We've now got a shadow in behind. So can you see how easily it's done? Now, the reason you can do that is because it's going to be the same height. So therefore, you're not going to see where you've cut it, but it's going to give you a nice shadow on the outside. Now, if you honestly wanted to get a shadow up the top and a shadow down the bottom, you could actually cut another one and actually back it in behind there as well, if you wanted to do that. I like the fact that it's just on both sides. So it doesn't really bother me that it's just on both sides. Now, of course, seeing as I've used Pretty Peacock there, I'm going to use this gorgeous Pretty Peacock ribbon, which is one of my favorites at the moment. And all I'm going to do is add a little ribbon in behind. So I'm going to use my Seal Plus. Oh, lordy, lordy, where is everything this afternoon? Okay, you're not going to see me do this. The Seal Plus should be here. Maybe it's fallen in behind. No? Okay, everything's missing. You didn't see me use this. But it's a thing that we used to have years ago called Snail when all else fails. But you would use Seal Plus in behind there. Oh, lordy, I had that here. Oh, it's right here beside me. You know what? When I'm looking for something, just tell me to look to the left. Actually, no, sorry, look to the right. All right, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a zigzag of ribbon in behind there. And this is a great way of being able to add a little bit of something in behind your sentiment, but not go too overboard. So it's sticking into the glue that's in behind. And we've got that gorgeous idea there. Okay, so let's do that. And then, of course, I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back here, and that's going to hold my ribbon in place as well. So we're going to straddle that ribbon to make sure that we are holding that ribbon on. And pop it up. Yes, Lynn, I do agree. So Lynn's asking it. That's a great question. So let's show that question. So Lynn said, do you think the glass mat helps you stamp any better? Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I will say yes to that question. The glass mat is very solid and it's very flat. So when you're trying to stamp and you want to stamp perfectly, you need to have a good, flat, even surface. So the glass mat provides that for you. Now, you'll find that a lot of people that have a glass mat or have previously had a glass mat absolutely love it for that simple fact. And yes, it is because it actually helps with making sure that everything is nice and even underneath and it stamps really well. So hopefully that has answered your question. All right, so now I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to pop that up onto the front. And that's the front of our card done. Well, we've got to embellish as well. But that's the front of our card done. And now the fun part is decorating the insert. Now, who out there doesn't put an insert in their card? Come on, own up to it. Do you put an insert on the inside of your card or do you leave them bare? Let me know. Type into the comments. Do you always put an insert in? Do you sometimes put an insert in? Or do you never put an insert in? Sorry, Donna. I wanted to watch you wave your creative wand. We'll catch up on replay. No worries, Chris. So tell me, do you always put an insert in? Chris says no, not a nudie card. Exactly. That's what I would call it, a nudie card. Always, says Margaret. Always, says Janine. Leslie says sometimes, but I prefer it with. Yes. I put an insert in, but rarely decorate it, hanging my head in shame. It's okay, Ida. Always decorate my envelopes as well. Elizabeth, I put an insert in when I need to use it. Yeah, okay, because sometimes you can have white card bases and it's not really a necessity to have one in there. Glenda says always put an insert in. Mari says sometimes. Sue says I do an insert. No nudie runs in my cards. I also do the envelopes as well. Lorraine, always, not always on white, always on colour, says Judy. Yep. All right, so talking about inserts. I'm going to put an insert in and we're going to stamp it because I want it to look really, really pretty. All right, so I've got some of the stamps already mounted up. So I've got the large leafy stamp, I've got the small little flower, and I've got the little tiny leaf. So I think what I might do is do a combination of our green. So I'm going to do, and I would use Parakeet Party. I really would. But, I mean, Lemon Lime Twist is going to do the job as well. So I've got Lemon Lime Twist. I'm also going to use Pretty Peacock. And I'm going to use Berry Burst. Okay, so we've got our 3 colours there. So we've got Berry Burst, Pretty Peacock, and Lemon Lime Twist. Now make sure I don't get confused with what I'm supposed to be using here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a nice little border down the bottom here. So I've got Lemon Lime Twist. So I'm just randomly stamping. And can you see I'm stamping off on my glass mat, and it doesn't matter. I don't need to have anything in behind me because I can wipe off my glass mat when I'm finished. So now I'm just going to go in with the little green, and I missed one of the leaves there. Can I re-stamp over the top? Probably not. I've got a funny looking leaf there, but that's okay. I'll pop one there, and I'll pop one there. Okay, so we've got some cute little green leaves. And then, of course, with the cute little flower, I'm just going to go through and add some flowers. Just randomly around. And there you have a cute little border. And, as I said, with my chamois, I will go through and wipe that off. And my glass mat is clean. That is I honestly feel like just being able to do that and not have to have any scrap paper underneath me, just being able to just wipe your mat clean and go again, I think is just so time saving. Plus, I mean, for videos, it actually looks neat that I haven't got a grotty bit of paper in front of me. So I'm quite loving the fact that you can actually just wipe it clean like that. So, of course, we've got our insert in there. So we've got no nude card happening there. Then, of course, I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella and I'm going to bring these little flowers to life because your wink will move a little bit of that ink around in your flowers. So I'm just going to add little tiny bit of Wink of Stella in the middle of all of them. Sometimes to get the ink to move with your Wink of Stella, you have to be fairly quick in your stamping because we have water-based ink. They dry pretty quickly. So sometimes it's very hard to get that ink to move around. And I'm going to spritz. So I'm going to spritz on the inside and I'm going to spritz on the front. I could have actually stamped some of those cute little flowers on the front as well, but and then I'm going to wipe my glass mat down again because I've just put Wink of Stella all over my glass mat. Okay, all right. So the only thing left to do is to embellish, and of course I'm going to use those cute little embellishments that we used yesterday, which are the petal pink. And I might just do one there. Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock foiled gems. And one there. I should be using my Take a Pick because it's way easier. And then I'm just going to spread some of the little ones around. So I'm just going to one there, one down here, and one over there. And there you have your first card in my class to go today. So there you go. What happened? No bow. I know. I did a zigzag ribbon instead, Sue. I've got to keep you on your toes. I mean, I can't have you expecting everything. Yes, for sure, Elizabeth, you can case it case away because honestly, it is a great idea for using up your scrap pieces of designer series paper. Okay, so talking about using up scrap pieces of designer series paper, the next one that we're going to do, we're going to keep the same colour scheme. So we've got our Pretty Peacock this time as our card base. We've got our Parakeet Party as our layer. Now with that Parakeet Party, and I've also got some designer series paper. So the 5 pieces of designer series paper, they're all cut at 1 1/4 inches by 3 5/8. So I'm going to pop that over there. So if anyone wants to, and that just pulled some of my Parakeet Party off. So I'm going to keep that over there for you to have a look at. So I'm going to use the celebration item, which is the Softly Sophisticated 3D embossing folder. So I'm going to use that on this card just to add a little bit of texture to this background, because I'm going to use my scrap pieces of paper, but I also want to add a bit of texture into the background. Now, our embossing folders, this is a 3D embossing folder. So our embossing folders, you can always tell with a 3D one, they're actually quite thick. The thin ones, honestly, you can tell, because people say, how am I going to tell if it's a 3D one or a regular one? I can honestly tell you, you will feel the difference. When you feel a regular one, it feels so thin compared to these. So let's just bring in the cut and emboss, and we will emboss this layer. All right. So now, of course, with embossing, if you're brand new to our cut and emboss machine, honestly, I don't know whether I could craft without a cut and emboss machine. Who out there agrees? Like, do you love your die cutting machine? Because you can do more than just die cutting with a die cutting machine. You can also emboss these layers as well. So with our embossing, on our number 1 plate, it's going to tell us, so this is our number 1 plate. Up here is the combination for cutting. Here is the combination for doing just your regular embossing folders, and here is the combination for doing your 3D one. So this one's a 3D one, so we just need plate number 1 and plate number 4. Ida says that she agrees, can't live without it. Leslie's love, love, love. Linda, yes, I agree. So I can tell you that was one of my first purchases that I bought when I started crafting, was a cut and emboss machine. Now, you always put your fold going through the cut and emboss machine first. You always make sure you have a plate on top of your embossing folder. If you do the combination and you put your embossing folder on the top, yes, okay, it's going to have the same thickness, but it's going to ruin your embossing folder, and we do not want to make our embossing folder. We don't want to break it. Glenda's saying that she can't make a card without it. Lavender said, yes, it is essential for crafting. Exactly. All right. Now, I've got to remember my cut and emboss sticks to my glass mat, which is really good. So that's one thing. I know that I dropped the glass mat the other day, but it is really, really good. Look at that embossing folder. Isn't that just stunning? Absolutely stunning. So it's just taken that level to a whole, that layer to a whole different level. Now, of course, my card bases are cut at 5 3/4 by 8 inches. As always, I always use the same size card base so it doesn't get confusing when it comes to crafting. Of course, my Parakeet Party layer that I've just embossed is cut at 5 1/2 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So 3 3/4 that way, 5 1/2 that way. Okay, now I have these pieces of the designer series paper. Now, how many times do you have strips like this left over and you think, what am I going to do with all of these strips of paper? This is a really great layout that is so simple and easy to do. I'm just going to pop my card base across there. So simple and easy to do. It's just a case of randomly placing them around on your layer, okay? That's all we're going to do, just randomly place it around. So we've got that nice embossed layer peeking through in behind. We've got those gorgeous layers. Now, I mean, some of them are just the reverse side. So we always have gorgeous designer series paper that we have reverse sides, which are compatible with the patterned sides as well. So Judy says, great investment, can continue crafting when the power is out. Correct. I agree. All right, so now I'm just going to glue those on. So I'm just going to use some of my liquid Tombow. I'm going to place one at an angle like that. The next one, so that's just the reverse side. we're going to place just at an angle like that. So it's just like playing zigzag, really, with your designer series paper, but great for using up scraps of designer series paper. And we're going to go with the next one like that. And then with this final one, we are going to go just like that. Okay, so there you have a great start to your card. All right, so then of course we're going to need some type of ribbon to be able to use on this. So what I thought I would use is the parakeet party ribbon, because we always have to have a bow. Like as Sue was saying, why is there no bow on my card? Because I am known as the bow lady. So of course I couldn't disappoint you without having a bow. So I'm actually going to use this ribbon here. Now this ribbon is from the Zoo Suite. Does anyone tell me what the name of that Zoo Suite is called in our annual catalogue? But it comes with beautiful pink and the parakeet party as well. So it may not be parakeet party. It could be lemon lime twist. But anyway, it's going to go perfectly with his card. So that's what I'm going to do. How romantic to craft by candlelight. Yep, sounds good, doesn't it? Zoo crew. That's it. Thanks, Elizabeth. I knew one of you would be able to do. I'm like the zoo one. All right. So I'm just going to. I've put some Seal Plus on the back there. I'm just going to wrap that around, just like so. Now I'm going to change this one up a little bit, because seeing as we've got some cute flowers and things in our designer series paper, I'm going to go that way, I think. Okay, so seeing as we've got some cute flowers and things in our designer series paper, what I thought I might do is just stamp a couple of combinations of some things. Now I might actually use this one, seeing we've actually stamped it. I'm going to use a different sentiment this time. So let's use sending you lots of love and hugs. That sounds wonderful. Let's try that one. And then I think we might do the let's eat cake for the last one. All right. So we've got that. Now, of course, making sure that you're keeping in your color scheme here. I'm actually going to use Pretty Peacock for this sentiment. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Pretty Peacock out. Zany Zoo. Yeah, I think the suite is called Zoo. Something's called Zoo Crew, and anyway, whichever way it goes around. Anyway, sending you lots of love and hugs. Okay, so we've got that. Now, I'm also going to stamp with my lemon lime twist. I'm going to stamp a couple of these. So I'm going to stamp one will fit just there, and another one will fit probably over here. Okay, I'm going to stamp some of those cute little flowers. So let's do some of those. One, oops, and I missed again. You may wonder why I do things like that, but it's very hard when you're not stamping over the top, like when you're actually stamping out in front of you. I don't know about you, but I like to stamp over the top of what I'm doing and be able to stamp down. So when you're doing a video and you're trying not to get your head in the camera, it's very hard to do that. All right, so now I'm going to cut that out with my hexagon punch. And yes, you heard me. I'm actually going to fussy cut the rest out. Okay, so that stamp there is right on the edge of that. All right, so then I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut these out. So now the easiest way to fussy cut something out is to eliminate the hardness about anything that you do. So get it that it's two easy pieces of paper to be able to cut out. All right, so I'll just pop that aside. Okay, So I'm just going to, now the idea of fussy cutting is that you squeeze your scissors and you move the paper. You don't actually have to move your scissors. Now I'm not going to be too particular in how I fussy cut these out. As long as I've got something looking like it, I'm quite okay. All right. So some people love fussy cutting. Some people absolutely hate it. It depends on what you're comfortable with. But the main thing about fussy cutting is moving your cardstock and squeezing the scissors. Okay. So there we have one cut out. Okay. We'll cut out the second one. So some people find it relaxing. Some people find it nerve-wracking. But sometimes there's just things that you have to fussy cut. Sometimes we don't have the dies to be able to fussy cut something out. And fussy cutting this just takes it to a whole different level once again. So as I said, just moving our cardstock and squeezing our scissors as we go. Okay, so that's that one. Ooh. Sorry. Oh, how can I stop that? I thought my phone was on silent, but it's obviously not. I need to message and tell my daughter I'm on a video. There. Okay. All right. So we've got that. And then, of course, I'm going to fussy cut some of these little flowers out. So sometimes just taking the time and the effort to fussy cut some things out, it just finishes things off. So we've got that little one. Oh, okay. My father's trying to get into his email again. Let me see if I can do it. There. Look at that. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm answering text messages. You got to love your parents when they're in their 80s and they're trying to maneuver themselves around on computer devices and things. My poor father has been having trouble with his email. He's been locked out of his email, and he can't get into it. So my daughter's actually out having dinner with them. She meets up with my mum and dad once a week and goes out for dinner, and she's out there. So every time she's out there, they've got something with a certain device. Can you help us do this? Can you help us get into that? So she's helping him get into his email. Donna, are you having bad weather? Glenda's saying, am I having bad weather? We are pretty lucky here, Glenda. I can't complain at the moment. I mean, we actually did, my friend Lucy was here today and she actually brought up a photo of Morayfield, north side of Brisbane. And man, they are copping weather really bad. Now, Morayfield is maybe an hour and a half from me here. And they're copping weather really bad. I mean, we've had rain, but nothing too drastic at the moment. So I think it's sort of the north side of Brisbane rather than here. All right, so I'm going to pop that up, but I'm actually going to add these in as an embellishment in behind that, and then I'll add those little flowers as I go. So I'm just going to, with that, I'm going to put some Seal Plus on behind here, and I'm going to pop those two little leaves. So Seal Plus is great for when you want to embellish like this and you just want to pop them on. So you can actually do that, pop them into your Seal Plus Okay, and then I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back. Fussy cussin'. Does that mean you're cursing while you're doing it? Oh, Lynn. How are you going out there, Lynn? Are you getting any bad weather? Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of another Lynn. I was thinking it was Lynn, my team member, that's just out of Bow Desert. So sorry. So Lynn McFarlane saying that she doesn't like it at all. Okay. I might just pop a dimensional on the back of those pieces as well. One up there and one there. I told my daughter I was going to be on a live video, and then she rings me, FaceTimes me while I'm on a live video. Yeah, sorry, Lynn. I was thinking you were my team member that lives just out of Bow Desert. Oh, not just out of Bow Desert. She's out of Bow Desert a fair while. I thought she was on here. All right, so I've got that. I'm then going to pop that one up and pop it on the front, and then I'll do my little flowers. So just popping some dimensionals on the back, and I'm using up all my scraps to be able to do that. I'll use my handy dandy take your pick tool to take the backings off. And we will pop that one on there like that. So if you've just joined or you've joined in a little bit late, this is my free class to go this week. So for anyone that places an order of $100 or more using my host code, will be able to score themselves a free kit from today's class to make 2 of each of these cards. Now I've got my insert layer there ready to go. All right, so now I'm actually just going to use my take your pick tool. I'm going to add just a little bit of liquid glue. I want to pop a couple of flowers just here. So I want to pop one there and one there. So I'm just going to pick up with my take your pick tool and pop them into that glue. So that's the beauty of the putty end of our take your pick tool. And I might just pop one probably down here. Or do I want to put 3 up there? No, I think I'm going to put 3 up there. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit more glue, maybe just there. And we'll add that one in there to make 3 of them, sitting there in a little cluster, which is really, really cute, except for when it sticks to your finger. Okay, so we've got our 3 little flowers in there. Of course, we're going to do a cute little bow with our ribbon, which is definitely going to set the front off. Here we go. So here comes the bow. Yeah, Texas is in the 70s and sunny. Well, there you go. And then yet I've got some people I know that are over in the States and they've got freezing cold snow. So there you go. So Texas is sunny and in the 70s. Wow. All right, so we're just going to do that. And we're going to add a little bit of Seal Plus, pop our ribbon into the Seal Plus, like that. Okay, so we've got our insert. So on the insert, I'm just going to do a combination of my lemon lime twist. So I'm just going to do one there and one just there. And of course, our little flowers. Just humming and buzzing around. They're like that. Okay, and of course, wipe that clean. And then we will add that to the inside of our card. So there, bring that in. and add to the inside. Okay, and then of course to finish off we will embellish with some basic rhinestones in the middle of those little flowers. I always love heading to my basic rhinestones, are always fantastic for being able to bling up a gorgeous card and just take it to a whole new level. One there, one up there, and one down there. And of course, spritzing with our Wink of Stella. Add some shimmer and shine on the front and also to the inside. And you can see it just gives that gorgeous shimmer and shine. So that is card number 2 from my free class to go this week. All right, so we've got 2 cards. Now, the final card, this one is honestly the star of the show. Now, I've used the hexagon punch here several times using the Designer Series paper, which is a free celebration item. And the celebration paper is called Most Adored. Now, we have pinks and reds on one side and we have golds on the other side, okay? So there is gorgeous gold patterns on the back and pinks on the front. So I decided to cut a combination of hexagons and we're just going to create a cute little pattern, but I wanted to use the pink sides. Okay, so the pink and the red go beautiful. It's actually Flirty Flamingo and Real Red. So they are a lovely combination, have always been a beautiful combination. We had some heart doilies at one stage and they were Flirty Flamingo and Real Red doilies and they were one of my favorite things that we had. So so now that we have that, we now have this gorgeous paper. So I'm going to use I think this is called let me get the name of this. Linda, you asked me for the name of this in one of the other videos that I did. It is called Layered Florals, this 3D embossing folder. Okay, so I thought you're probably going to ask me again, but it's called Layered Florals, and it's in our mini catalog. So this is a 3D embossing folder. All right, so I'm going to emboss that Flirty Flamingo layer first. So I'm going to bring in the cut and emboss machine. And we will bring in, of course, base plate number 1. And we've got our cardstock in here ready to go. Place it onto our base plate number 1 and we're going to use our number 4 over the top. We've got our fold going through the machine first and we're going to run that through. Oh, you got it in your order. Okay, no worries. Okay, take that off again. And of course we have this gorgeous look. Now, you can't tell me that is not a stunning embossing folder, okay? So it's called Layered Florals, and it's in our mini catalog. Now, that with a beautiful Real Red backing layer is really, really cute. So I'm just going to add that onto my Real Red layer. So once again, 5 3/4 inches by 8 inches. My first Real Red layer here is cut at 5.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. My next layer is cut at 5 3/8 this way and 3 5/8 that way, and I've embossed it with the Layered Florals embossing folder. All right, now I'm going to fold my Flirty Flamingo card base in half, and I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder. Okay, so we've got our layer for the front, we've got our card base. So you can see here we've got that gorgeous Flirty Flamingo. I wanted to have that red around there just to break it up a little bit. You could have done tone on tone and had it the way I wanted to do it, but I thought it needed the red to spark it up a little bit. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to add these gorgeous hexagons in a pattern like this. So I'm going to glue one there. I'm going to just arrange them how I want them to be. I'm going to take that card base away because we're not going to do that just yet. Okay, so we're just going to arrange them in this pattern. So working out what combination you want with that. So we've got to make sure that we're changing up the combinations of the patterns. All right. Actually, no, I'm going to put this one down here like that. Okay. So we can probably put that one in there like that. We can probably put that one in there like that. We can probably put that one in there like that. And that one up there like that. We could probably move it up. Okay, I'm going to move it up so that I can get that, that, and this one in down here. Okay, so can you see that? So you can do this with lots and lots of different paper. And I can tell you, you can use up your scraps because anytime we've got an embossing folder like this, you'll find that it's really, really a great thing to be able to do. So first of all, I'm going to take the one in the center because that's the main focal point. So I'm going to pick up that one and I'm going to glue it down. So I want it glued down flat. And what I want to do is I want to actually have some of these that I'm going to pop up. So I'm going to randomly pop. So I want to pop this one up. I want to randomly pop some up. So let's add, I'm going to add dimensionals directly down onto that layer so I can sit that straight down onto the dimensionals. So I need a dimensional there where that corner is going to be. And I need one top and bottom. So one there and one there. Okay, I think that will work. Like that. I'm going to take that off. Okay, I'm going to glue that one in, and I am going to trim the overhangs of these when I get everything done. So I've got that one popped up. So this one here, I'm going to glue straight down. So we're going to glue it there. Okay. I'm going to glue that one down. I think I might just randomly, I think I might pop up this one down here. So I'm going to glue that one in there. After I arranged it, you love it. You know, you just got to go with the flow, try something, see how it goes. Okay, so that one there, we're going to pop in there. This one here, we're going to pop in there. Like that. Okay. All right. This one here, I'm going to pop up. And I'm only going to pop up one side of it because it is actually going to be overhung. So it is actually going to get cut off. So I'm just going to put the dimensionals on half of it. Whoa. Oh, I was wondering why that didn't stick because the backing of the dimensionals came with it. All right. So we're just going to pop that one on. So that one's going to pop in. Not having any luck with the dimensionals this afternoon. That one's going to pop in there. Okay, this one's going to sit down, so we're going to glue that one down. So just remember, if you love what I'm doing, please give me the thumbs up. YouTube and Facebook love it when you give me the thumbs up, and it helps get my video out to more people when you do that. So please feel free to hit that thumbs up button and let Facebook and YouTube like what I do. Okay, there we go. So we've got that. So I'm just going to wait and let that all take hold. Okay, one of the beauties of this glass mat is being able to do all this gluing, and you can lift it up off the glass mat. So that's another good part about the glass mat as well. So what we're going to do is, now that we've got that done, we're actually going to turn it over, and we are going to cut along the edge of our cardstock and cut those pieces off. Along the edge and cut them off. Along the edge and cut them off, and along the edge and cut it off. And then you have that gorgeous look there like that. Okay, we did it, no, that way. Got to have the hearts going up the right way. Okay, so we've got that. Now what I'm going to do, and this is not quite the right color, but I think oh no, actually, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use this one. This one here. So this ribbon comes out of our Real Red and Garden Green. I don't know whether it's still current. Please tell me if it's actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use gold instead. I was thinking I was going to use Real Red, and then it may not be current, so I haven't checked on that. So I better use something that I know is current. So I'm going to use this gorgeous gold twine. So we're going to pop some Real Red, some Seal Plus in there. We're going to wrap that around because, of course, you know me, we have to have ribbon. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to glue that down directly straight onto my Flirty Flamingo card base because we've done the popping up of those hexagons, so we really don't need to add any more dimension. The Real Red ribbon is current, Ida? Yes, the Real Red and Garden Green, the combo, ribbon combo. I didn't double check, so I thought I better not use it. I mean, Real Red would have looked nice on it, but gold's going to look nice too. All right. So then I'm just going to take a piece of basic white, and we will stamp our sentiment. So I'm going to clean that off. I'm going to use Real Red around the outside. Now, is that the right one? Yes, it is. So I'm going to use my Real Red ink. And I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo, I think, for my sentiment. I mean, I could have done, I just think the Real Red will stand out better. Okay, so we've got Real Red there. And let's find my Flirty Flamingo. And I did say that I was going to use the Let's Eat Cake stamp. Let's Eat Cake. All right, so let's grab a block for that. Okay, so Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to do Let's Eat Cake in the middle, like so. I'm going to punch it out with, if it's current in the US, it'll be current here in Australia as well. Okay, so let's go bam. We've got that. Then, of course, I think to really add some highlight, let's grab a Real Red. Do I have Real Red in here? No, that's Cherry Cobbler. that's real red. Okay, let's grab a real red and let's punch a real red out. And of course, we're going to cut that in half again. Going to add some liquid glue on both of those pieces. And we will add that into there so we get that shadow effect again. It's one. And pop it into there. That's two. All right, so we've got that. Then, of course, we're going to pop that up on the front with some dimensionals. We may as well use the last bit on that one there. So let's use that. We can throw that away. Don't you love finishing off a sheet of dimensionals? All right. And we will pop that on there. Okay, so now I need to tell you I am going to jump on live in the morning and I'm going to make you another card in the morning. So I have promised that I want to go live every morning, Monday to Friday. But I'm going to have to jump on at 8 a.m. in the morning. So 8 a.m. Queensland time for anyone that wants to join. And I will be creating another card using this gorgeous bundle. I'm telling you, I mean, by the end of this week, if I haven't sold you on this bundle, I'm going to ask you why not. All right, so we've got that and that. So I'm going to do a cute little gold bow. I'm not doing too well with that ribbon there. Let's do it again. I twisted it as I put it through. I'm all right with ribbon, but when it comes to finer ribbon, I have a hard time keeping it straight. There, I did. So the main thing when you're tying bows is to not actually twist your ribbon, like not let your ribbon twist. Now, when you tie bows like that, yes, okay, you will get one side of the ribbon will be turned the other way, and you can twist it if you want to be that particular, but honestly, who's going to tell whether that tail is different to that tail? No one. All right, so I'm just going to pop that one right there. So a little bit of Seal Plus, pop my bow into the Seal Plus. And then, of course, to finish it off, I think I was going to say, I hope I've got some gold ones left here because I know they're my favourite. In the Festive Pearls, and we have a couple of little gold ones left there. So let's grab our Take Your Pick tool wherever it went. There it is. Grab our Take Your Pick tool and we will pop, I think I'm just going to pop 3 along there. I think we'll just set that off. 3 along there, I think is quite enough. So how stinking cute is that? And of course, a spritzing of our Wink. And, oh, talking about naked cards. Oh my God, we can't have a naked card. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to take, there's a cute little heart in here. So I'm going to do some Flirty Flamingo. Let me grab that. So I've got that cute little heart. Okay. So we have I'm going to do cute little hearts going randomly up through there. And I think I might clean that off. And we might do some real red flowers going up there as well. I probably could have done it the other way around and had the real red hearts. But how cute is that? I mean, I must say. I could use some of the bits, yes, inside. So Sue's saying that I could use some of the cutout bits inside, which I could. I could quite easily do something a little bit like this if I wanted to, and have that corner so that you're bringing in, so that you're bringing in some of that from the front. But I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to pop that to the inside of my card. And of course, if you were going to make envelopes for these, just what you do on the insert, just do a combination of that on the outside of your card as well. And there you have card number 3 from my free online class for this week. So as I said, you can actually earn your kit for free. Let's bring those cards back in. You can earn your kit for free with a qualifying $100 order through my online store. This week, you will earn a kit to make 2 of these cards each, so you get enough in your supply to make 6 of them. You will need the hexagon bundle. You'll need the punch and the stamp set to be able to recreate them exactly the same, or you can use something else out of your craft stash. But you will be able to recreate these cards. So using the host code in the show more box down below, or you can use the QR code that's on the screen here, and that will take you straight through to my online store. Now, that is all qualifying orders of $100 or more during today, January the 30th, right through until Saturday night, which is the 3rd of February. So hopefully you enjoyed that crafty session with me today. And if this is the first time that you've watched and you really love what I did, please give me the thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button and look at the crafty cat. Like, he's like totally into this crafting session here. Theo has just really enjoyed this session. But I call him, it's probably his nickname now, the crafty cat, because he physically is like hanging around with me. And this afternoon this morning when I went out and I was out in the craft studio and I'd forgot to take him out, he was actually standing at the door looking at me like, why did you not take me out there? Like, why did you leave me in the house? So he's quite happy to be here hanging out and snoozing with us. Yeah, snoozing. It's a hard life. I always remember my mother saying, if I ever come back in a second life, I want to come back as a cat. And I can honestly tell you, I think I would like to as well. The only thing I don't think I could stand is the fur in this hot weather. Like, even my daughter said, he must be so hot with that fur coat on. I said, but they tend to survive. That's what they do. So I will see you back here at 8 a.m. Queensland time tomorrow morning for another fun crafty session. So thank you very much for hanging out with me and crafting and chatting with me today. And have a lovely evening, and I will see you all again